Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are at, and welcome to the stream for Fantasy Flight Interactive, displaying the Lord of the Rings living card game. This is a living card game, cooperative or single-player narrative card game experience developed by Fantasy Flight Interactive in partnership with our partners at Asmodee Digital. How's it going today, everyone? How you doing? How you feeling? I'm feeling pretty good. I've been doing some demos for press all morning, playing the game and talking about it as I am doing now. So it's been a pretty full day of playing Lord of the Rings. So I'm having a good time. I have a couple of things to show you today. First, of course, being Sam and his respective hero pack. So there's going to be 4 new cards showing you today. A couple of them are really cool. I'm playing with one of them in the deck. So we'll take a look at those in a second here. I want to do a little housekeeping before that. As a heads up, everything that you see, as always, is going to be, yeah, I'm going to beat the Quest to 44 threat again today. I'm just going to do it to rub it in your face. No, we're going to try to see if we can see that threat event today, too. Hopefully we can get to it. As always, everything is a work in progress. Everything's going to be development subjective to our partners, our developers, our licensors. Everything is subject to change and will continue to change as development continues on. Last week we saw a lot of big new changes. They're pretty exciting. We are currently planning on showing some new ones as well today. One thing I wanted to give you a heads up was our success screens, so our scores at the end are not showing up. That's just a bug in today's build, so we might see one. It's been like 1 in like 4 or 5 times it shows up, but just letting you know that the game's not crashing or anything like that, and we haven't taken that out as a feature. It's just something that's currently not functional within the build. The other new change, we've been talking a lot about Faramir. So basically, he was really powerful. We are looking at changes that we might make to him to bring him a little bit more in line with other characters. One of the things that we definitely wanted to get ahead of everything was Vanquish was originally designed so that even if you cleared objectives, you would get the trigger off of it. We've changed that. So now you're only going to get Vanquish triggers if you defeat an enemy. So if you complete an objective with Faramir or any other character with Vanquish, you're not going to get that trigger in that case. Speaking of stats, actually, Joe, it's funny you bring that up. Today we were actually started integrating moving on to my next topic, where you started integrating the 4K build. We are currently working on the 4K build of the game. I can say it looks gorgeous. Obviously, with the stream, I'm streaming at 1080 here, or maybe 720, I'm not sure actually. I'm not streaming in full HD, so you won't be able to see it in that case, but we'll start releasing some footage, and it started working. We're testing it out, seeing how it's been slowing down the game, but we are planning to do full 4K support for this game, and it's pretty awesome, actually. Hey, Pete, how's it going? You didn't miss much. We're just going over the initial what to do for today's and what we're going to be looking at. There's going to be some card changes, though, that we're going to show you, and some new cards as well. Yeah, thank you. So the stream is in 1080. Yes, we are going to... you are going to have a 4K version, however, which is pretty exciting for us. Somebody else had asked about an iOS port. We haven't announced anything other than PC and Mac at this time, and that's kind of my cagey answer for everything with that. So yeah, Vanquish only triggers on defeating enemies. That's kind of the benefit in 2 ways. Number one, it's that it kind of makes the mechanic make a little bit more thematic sense. The other thing is that we can basically explore having something similar for completing objectives as a mechanic. So we're looking into stuff like that and kind of still balancing out the game. But that's currently the state of Vanquish, and I think it's a little bit more, reasonable is probably the word that I would use. It's a little bit, makes a little bit more sense too for us. So we're pretty happy with that. There's going to be a couple of new visual tweaks you're going to see, including a new indicator for attachments. I'd love to hear your feedback on that, guys, especially in the forums. If you haven't joined us on the Steam community forums, it's a great place to talk about the game. I'm pretty excited about some of these, the way this looks right now, but integration makes it a little bit easier to understand what's going on and how your attachments are going to place. So we'll get into that when we jump into the game. We've also added icons for every card within their triggers, so it's going to be a little box that shows their art that shows that they're going off. I'll point those out when we see them as well, but just want a heads up that some of that's going to potentially cover up some of your some of the text that you might see on screen. So if you see any issues like that or errors, just know those are temporary as we continue to develop those. Quads, I'm not going to be talking about any cosmetics today, but if you have specific questions, you can drop them. I saw the thread in the forum. You can drop them in there. I'll answer what I can on Thursday. I'll add that into the schedule and see what I can do for that. I might have to be a little bit quiet on some details, but I think I can give you some idea of what we're planning on doing. So just drop some specific questions in that over in that forum thread, and I'll be able to help you out. We'll probably do a full cosmetics episode in the future, of course, though. Okay, what else do I have for you today? So we talked about the card icons. Oh, there's another big mechanical change. Guard no longer protects objectives. So guard is only going to stop you from attacking other enemies right now. This is another thing that we are testing out within the build. No idea how we feel about it in the end. We're going to keep on playing like it. It's kind of made some of the other heroes a little bit more interactive, those with willpower. It's changed the pace of the game a little bit, so we're still getting a feel for it, but it's something we're trying out for today. So you'll see that today too. We'll be able to blow past guard enemies in order to move on to other objectives. But you still will have to block for certain enemies. And of course, depending on the objective too, you might have to fight through those guards in order to progress if you have to defeat every enemy or defeat a boss or something. It's just made the pacing a little bit different. It's made it so that bosses are incredibly difficult now. Like in a good way, I think it's a good change to that. Yeah, like you said, it's kind of made Spirit Hairs a little bit better, but it's also changed the pacing of how you move through locations versus how you fight when there is kind of like a swarm or a boss objective. I like that pacing change, and we're going to see some of that too because we're going to be going through Quest 2 today here. Yeah, there's been some changes too. Unexhausted enemies adding to your threat level, some things like that. We'll talk about that as they continue to develop. That's not something we've put into the game, but that's something we're playing around with. We're thinking about. So yeah, we're going to continue showing these changes as we keep on going here. What else do I have here? Yeah, and you're right, Quad. It might end up being that like we do this and we keep this change, but then we increase some values on quests, or it might change in other ways. So we're just going to keep our eyes on it, and getting feedback from you guys helps with our internal testing too, and it kind of helps us develop this game as we continue to build it. That's that, and that's that. Oh, and then there's a couple new features within the deck builder, which when we take a look at the decks, I'm going to show those to you as well. Basically, we've included click and drag for building decks. So when I create a new deck here, I come up with this, and I can click and drag my hero over. You see the little portraits now. So each individual hero is going to have their own portrait, and then each card actually has its own banner as well that we've integrated within to make deck building feel a little more intuitive, like you're actually picking up cards and moving them over. I really like this change. I like hanging out in the deck builder now. You can see one of the new cards already. We'll take a look at them. I think we saw Build a Pony earlier, but let's go over those new cards now. So this is the deck for today, but specifically let's take a look at what we have within the deck builder here. First is Build a Pony. He's going to be the legendary card within here, Sam's hero pack. Oh, we should go over Sam before anything else, huh? Let's do that. Sorry, guys. So here's Sam. Sam Gamgee. 8 threat, so kind of low. 1 attack, 2 willpower, 8 health. Look at that gaze. Look at those watchful eyes. So Sam here is our leadership hero within the hero packs. He's got Stalwart, and he's going to gain +1 attack and surge when Sauron has 0 resources. So we've already seen this trigger on Frodo. It's kind of the soft keyword for hobbits, is that when Sauron's out of resources, they're going to... My mouth sounds a little dry. I'm going to take a drink real quick here. He gets +1 attack, and he has Surge when Sauron has 0 resources, so you're going to be able to activate him twice. So basically, when Sauron is when he's up to the task, when the odds are up against him, when the board is stacked and things are stacked against him, he rises to the challenge, becomes better at fighting, and can activate twice. We thought that was kind of thematically in line with who Sam is, and it actually ends up making him really powerful. Plus his 2 willpower means that he can clear 4-cost objectives in 1 move if he is activated, making him really, really powerful for these things. I'm a big fan of Sam. We're going to get to play with him today. I haven't been able to play with him much. You see we have a 2 leadership hero, 1 lore for this deck for today too, at 28 threat, which is pretty powerful. So that's Sam in a nutshell. And then the cards with him. So like I was saying, Build a Pony. Build a Pony costs 3, but if you have Sam out, he's going to only cost 1. So you're going to want to normally play him in Sam decks, and he's actually a leadership level 2 card, so you're going to need to play him in Sam decks for this course starter. He's got 1 attack, 1 willpower, 4 health, so he's going to stick around for a while, and he actually gives you an extra resource on every upkeep. Pretty powerful. I like him a lot. I like these leadership decks with a lot of allies, and I like giving them access to resources. I found when I have Build a Pony out, I usually end up dumping my hands, so card draw is pretty necessary when you're playing him too, so that you can continue to use those resources. And also he's surprisingly good with Aragorn too, because of Aragorn's power. You basically can just use that extra resource to activate Aragorn a second time. Pretty big fan of this card. Yeah, Bill's pretty great. I'm a fan. Okay, so what else do we have today? Next up, we have, I thought it was on the screen, but I guess I'm wrong. Here it is, Halfling Determination. This is the lore card within Sam's Hero Pack. It's going to restore 4 health to each Hobbit. So here right now, we don't have that many Hobbits in the game. Right now you have Frodo and Sam in terms of heroes, and you have a couple of other allies that also have the Hobbit trait, so this will affect them too. But here's just a way for you to heal your characters outside of Arwen's Trigger or Self-Preservation or some of the other heal cards within lore. I've been interested in building with this card. I haven't gotten a chance to yet. I think that where it would find a home would be like a Sam Frodo deck, and then I guess Arwen is the lore hero, or you take Faramir. I was talking about it with you take Faramir as your kind of your cleanup duty, and then you use Sam and Frodo to move through objectives very quickly, and basically you don't have to focus on fighting with them because as they take damage you can just end up healing them with Halfling Determination. So I think that would be a pretty good home for this card. I'm interested to see how people build these. In a lot of other games, healing isn't really that powerful, kind of is low tempo, but because of this, you can do pretty well with this card, and I think it's probably gonna see some heavy play. Over here we've got Hobbit Cloak then. So Hobbit Cloak, you can only attach to hobbits appropriately. It is a special attachment within the Spirit Sphere, and on upkeep it's going to steal a resource from Sauron. So I say steal, but it's not going to give that to the player. It's actually just going to take it away from Sauron. I really like this card too. I like this design because it allows you to activate your it's going to allow you to activate your hobbits basically, based off that trigger. So it's basically a one-time. It's like a repeating effect of the same that Wandering Took does on one time. I'm a big fan of this card actually. I'm hoping that I can start building with this too in a Frodo deck specifically. And then once we start, putting new hobbits within the game too, there'll be some cool things we can do with cards like Hobbit Cloak. Yeah, I think that's also powerful. It's weird because Sam's pack's a lot of like supporting cards, so they're like powerful effects if you can get them to work synergistically with your other cards. We've seen other packs where like it's focused more on building around the strength or like just building around the hero. Here you're kind of like building towards this trait in a really interesting way. So I think this pack builds for a lot of flexibility, and it also kind of hints at what we might be building for cards in the future too. We also have our last card within it. It's Tasted Again. So keeping in the tradition of event cards within the hero pack that denote a really special moment for that character. Tasted Again is a preparation that's going to give you ambush against the next attack. So when Sauron attacks the next time, your character will gain ambush. So if it kills the enemy, then it's not going to receive reciprocal damage, basically. Ambush is kind of a cool keyword. It allows you to protect your heroes a little bit better. Excuse me. And it allows you to protect your allies, too, have a lot of damage here. So one more time so that people can make sure that they can see these new cards. The first one that we looked at was Tasted Again here. I'm going to take a look at some of the other ones here. Those are our new cards for today. Tasted Again, Hobbit Cloak. Hobbit Cloak's going to trigger on upkeep, so I believe it will be after Sauron gets his resources for the round. That makes sense because those upkeep triggers, like Arwen's triggers, happen after we draw a card and get our resources. Yeah, you could have 2. You could even... yeah, you could have 4 in co-op. That's true. Halfling Determination was another one of the new cards that we have for today. It's going to restore 4 health to each of your hobbits, kind of protect them if you're playing Sam and Frodo, and maybe any other heroes that you might see who have the Hobbit trait, or even allies. And then the last card that we took a look at was Bill the Pony. Bill the Pony is a unique ally who's going to only cost 1 if you control Sam, 3 normally, with 1/1/4 as his stats. And on upkeep, you're going to gain 1 resource. And he is the legendary card in that pack. So like I said, a lot of synergistic cards, a lot of cards that incentivize you to play Sam in kind of a unique way. And a lot of cards that are sort of a pretty interesting way to take a look at these, a pretty interesting way to deck build, I think. They incentivize you to build decks in an interesting way. I don't know, we've taken a look at these card close-ups with the flavor text. Obviously, we still have some tags to resolve within this. Yeah, these are going to be the screens for your detail and, of course, illustration credits. And we're still working on these in progress, too. Once we spoil the full set, I think we're probably going to do spoilers through this screen. And we're going to go through cards individually and kind of talk with the team about them. That's kind of a plan for future streams that we might do. If that sounds like something you're interested in doing, please let me know in terms of interested in seeing. And then finally, of course, we say our hero for the day, and that's Sam Gamgee. Sam's got 1 attack, 2 willpower, 8 defense, and 8 threat. 8 health, excuse me. He's going to have Stalwart, and he's going to +1 attack and Surge when Sauron has 0 resources. So once he's in the time of need, he's going to get a little bit better at fighting. He's going to be cool, yeah. I'm a big fan of Sam, and I'm a big fan of his pack, so we'll see what we can do here. Okay. So we're going to jump into Flies and Spiders, which is the second quest within the first campaign. This is the one where our heroes get captured within Spider's Web, so we have to save them. We can only take 1 hero, so we're going to try to take Sam, and then we're going to end up fighting Ungoliant Spawn. We're going to see if we can take him down with Sam for a nice thematic moment. We're also going to try to trigger that 45 threat event. I will do my best to do that and not just get lost in playing the game like I did on Thursday. I've made myself a note here to make sure that I didn't forget it. So let's do that. And then Thursday I'm going to show, I think I am going to show 4 new Valor cards. That's kind of the plan. We'll build another deck with Sam and take a look at those. And we will play through whatever quest seems appropriate for that. If you have a preference, if there's a quest you feel like we haven't seen, hey, we haven't seen this in a while, I want to see this, let me know. I'd be happy to show one of those again. So let's jump in. Jump into Adventures in Wilderland. We've got our deck selected, 28 threat. Go to Flies and Spiders and hit single player. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, I hope we do all right. This deck, like I said, has been pretty powerful, and it's 28 threat. It might actually be kind of hard to get up to 45, but we'll see. People are asking about gamepad support. I don't know if we've decided on that front yet, but I think we want to do controller support. I'll be able to support that that statement in a second here if somebody lets me know. I'm not sure what we're doing for that yet, though. Yeah, we currently have not shown the 5th quest yet, guys. I'm wondering, like, whether or not I will show it or whether or not we're just going to keep that in our back pocket so that there's kind of a surprise for players when the game goes into release, into early access. So I'm still trying to decide what we're going to do on that. Yeah, I don't have an official answer on gamepads yet, unfortunately, for you. But if that's something that you are after, that's something that's important to you, again, let us know within those Steam forums. And of course, like, even if it's something that's not in early access, we can think about it for full release too. So yeah, if that's something that's important to you, like, you know, let us know how you usually play these games, and it gives us a better idea of what the people are looking for. You can see I've got some cards that aren't within Sam's pack or aren't within the core set in here. We see Gondorian Shield. This is within Faramir's pack as well. I kind of just built with all the cards that we've spoiled up till now. If you haven't seen those cards before, you can check out past streams and you can see those reveals. Highlights are also going up on YouTube. I've been doing archive streams. I believe we are up to the week that I was gone for PAX South, so the streams where Charlie was hosting should go up soon. Should go up soon on YouTube as well. I'm going to... Oof, that's not supposed to happen that way. I'm going to keep gaining strength and Troll Shot Scout. I'm going to get rid of Caregiver, get rid of Lookout, and Gondorian Shield. Take Lorien's Wealth as my favorite card. It's kind of been my favorite card of choice recently. And we'll keep Sam as our hero. Oh, I guess I should mention that. Some people are talking about the colors on the cards. We're in the process of designing frames for the game. So what you see, like I said, is not final. So I would think I would take a look at these, but just know that everything you see is not final for, especially for card designs, card frames, and things like that. We are still in the process of putting something together that we visually, and things are going to continue to be tweaked as we continue development as well. So we're not going to clear this in this because the Hummer Horns are probably going to go after Sam here. Clear him off since he has Stalwart, and we are able to travel immediately. 29 threat here. Yeah, let me turn up in the in-game volume for you guys. It actually was coming through pretty loud on my end here, so I turned it down digitally. I'm going to turn that down and then turn my gain down. Can you hear it okay now? It might be too much. Let me bring it there. Let me know if it's still rough for you guys here. Okay, so here we are for rescue your friends. We have to save our friends here from the spiders in order to travel. We've got a guard enemy, but again, remember that just means we can't attach this hatchling spider. We can still go after the objective. However, the giant spider is going to make that a little bit more problematic with its 2/6 guard. Let's I could play out the scout and then we'll exhaust one of these enemies when it dies inevitably to one of these. Because this, well, the Guardian's only going to get +1 when it's defending, so if I send in the Trollshaw Scout, it'll exhaust one of them. I'm actually going to play out the Warden. We're going to play the long game here. I think we can afford to do that since we did so well with that last location. I'm going to go after the 2/6 here because our Hive Guardian's going to get +1 when it defends, so I'd rather it attacks us. Maybe that's greedy, I don't know, but we'll try this anyway. Yes, you can. I could go straight for the objectives here, but I'm trying to exhaust these enemies so that they don't get their attacks in. And we can clear them out since we can't finish this. However, now we will be able to since Sam has Stalwart. Sorry, we're having a bit of a loading issue on my end for some reason. The game's running a little slowly. So that's something in today's build. I'm just going to... It's +1 when it's defending. Do I just spend it? I'll just put one willpower on the objective here. And I'll draw my cards. Yeah, like I said, nothing's final yet, so everything's still in development. So keep that in mind. Yeah, part of the reason I'm hanging out is so that we can raise our threat here. We hit 30 finally. The second round here. Play out the Trollshaw Scout.
The hidden arrow strikes true.
So let's see what we can do here. I guess just clear the objective and let him get his activations in. Sorry, we're still in planning. Then he gets 3 attacks. We potentially lose Sam if we do that. Because if he goes 2 here and 3 there, and we just go right for the objective, then we lose Sam and we're out a hero starting the game. I don't think that's right. We could gaining strength and sneak attack here. See what we get, and then maybe clear out some, give them more targets. I mean, we're going to get to exhaust something with the Trollshaw Scout when we send it in, so let's just move into that and not worry about it so far. Guard guards other enemies, so you can quest through guard, but you cannot attack other enemies without guard. However, on this board, it just means that we've got a very protected hatchling spider. But normally there's like, if there's only a couple guard enemies, you have to worry about the other characters here too. Let's definitely exhaust him, and then we'll exhaust somebody else because the scout will die. Okay, we exhaust the 1 attack. That's not that great. Sarn's going to get his attack in here. We'll lose a character. So now we can quest and save our heroes, and it's okay. So we've got our heroes back. We get in 1 attack. That's not a huge deal. I feel a little bit better about Sam being low because now we're going to get R1 every turn. We also have Limbus waiting in the wings to ready him up a second time. So I think we're ready to just travel here.
You've managed to cut your companions loose, but the spiders are determined to recapture you. They spin giant webs from tree to tree, trapping you in their den. You will have to cut.
Yeah, this is kind of an interesting this is an interesting quest. I really like this one because it focuses so much on saving your other heroes and your other allies. It's kind of cool how it interacts with your board, basically, instead of just being progress on an objective. Here we have to overcome or escape the spiders to unlock travel. It's 8 willpower. You see Arwen's got kind of a boost too. She's at 3 currently too. I've also always wondered what Limbus tastes like. I actually found some fan had made a recipe online for some, and I was like, man, maybe I should make some of this and bring it in the office one day. We'll share that with you depending on how it is. Shaka, don't ruin my dreams and say it tastes like hardtack. I want it to be as delicious as it is in my dreams. Look at that. It's like shortbread. It probably tastes like shortbread. Or yeah, pound cake. Pound cake is perfect, penguins. I bet it tastes like pound cake. I bet it's delicious. I don't know about the wrapping it in leaves like that, but yeah, it looks good to me. I don't know. All right, let's see what we can do here. We've got 3 resources. We've got both reinforcements and sneak attack, so we can sneak in some allies here. Reinforcements pulls from our deck. Shoot, I don't have a deck tracker or anything, so I'm not sure what I have left. I know I have a lot of willpower within my deck. I have a couple of I have the healer within there too. So like the worst case scenario is I pull the healer and I heal up Sam, which isn't that bad. Let's see what we got.
Welcome to Rivendell.
Okay, well, that was to be expected. Called shot, right? That's okay. And I think that's it for me. Let's start attacking here. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So no matter what, we're gonna get. Well, who do we not want damaged? Does it really matter? I'm just gonna go after the objective, I think. Sauron's gonna get his attack in. We will work toward the objective again. That 3 attack is gonna go after somebody here too. Okay, Sam. He's taking a lot of damage. I don't know. 8 health is not a ton, to be honest, which is kind of hard with him. But I mean, he's pretty powerful. I guess you would want to get shields on him. That's why we have the Gondor shield in here, since we can't play round shield in our deck and give him block. It at least gives him block and +2 health for 3 cost, of course.
You just show me the way,
So we'll
or I'll skin you.
you can hear some of his voice lines too that we haven't gotten to see yet. We'll travel immediately.
You hack through the spider's webs, but advance only a short distance when
Yeah, we haven't seen Sam activate yet, Quad. You're right. He's been pretty conservative with his resources today. I don't know, which is unfortunate, but he does take into hero abilities into account. How that works with different cards depends. So he is checking and remembering that Sam. So basically, he's thinking about the risk of activating Sam when he's playing his cards as well. So now we have to defeat Ungoliant spawn. So here's kind of where guard is still pretty tricky. And remember, these hatchling spiders are all going to get guard as the spawn continues to pull them out of the deck for free. Let's heal up Sam. These are the current card changes that we have to show today, I believe. You might see some that I've forgotten about, but I don't think there's anything else too. We'll just gain threat. I mean, we wanna see the threat event anyway, so that's fine with me. We're going to go up to 34 here. And Sauron's okay. So he decided to spend it in order to put another guard in play, which is going to increase our Sam and give him his surge attack as well, which is pretty cool. Let's see what we can do here. We could gaining strength and get Gandalf into play. Seems good to me. Alright, Gandalf.
I am a servant of the secret fire.
Let's deal some 3 damage to somebody. Hit this hive, this giant spider here. Hive Guardian's over here. And we've got a hatchling over here. Mongolian spawn is at 9 health, 4 attack. Let's use Gandalf to kill off the Hive Guardian here. Sauron's going to get his attack in here. Yeah, the cost of Mirkwood Flock did in fact change currently. The risk return of Sauron playing it was kind of 0 because it was just a resource, so he wasn't really making interesting choices with it. So we've changed it a little bit. It still might change. We're just working on different balance patches throughout the game. It's going to be something that we continue to do. So Stalwart and Surge is kind of an interesting combination that you see on a couple of cards. Basically, it means that when you are attacked, you're not going to exhaust, and surge just means that you don't exhaust on your first attack. So there's 2 conditions where you don't exhaust, basically. It doesn't mean that you it doesn't mean that you get your 3 attacks. You could, however, deal damage 3 times. If you attack, are attacked, and then get your second attack, you will get your damage value 3 times with a character who has both Stalwart and Surge. Does that make sense? I know it's kind of complicated the way those interact, but you see them on a lot of characters. So Sam has that, and then the first boss of the of Quest 1 also has Stalwart and Surge, the Marsh Adder. So yeah, I'll hold back. Thanks for the reminder, Evans. We'll hold back from completing the quest. Anyway, here I don't think I can attack anyway with either of my characters because it'll kill them. We need to save Sam, so. Another Hive Guardian. Yeah, I can last 9 more rounds. Psh. I'm going to be dancing circles around this Ungoliant spawn. Of course, Sauron's going to gain his extra resources because of his threat event. We'll see what happens. Forest Spider fortunately does not get guard. We gotta fight through these guys. The problem with this is, like, even if we put chip damage on the Ungoliant spawn, it's like we have to fight through everything in order to do that. Let's caregiver our Sam back up to 7 health here. Draw some cards, maybe? Sneak attack? I'm gonna sneak attack. Erkenbrand. Cool. Erkenbrand's awesome. I think maybe I've gotten him off a sneak attack trigger before, but just in case. Unique Valor card. Rohan trait, block and guard. So he's gonna be taking a lot of damage for us this round. But of course he has fleeting, so he'll be leaving too. At the end of the round. Doomed cards is not something we've explored within the core set currently, and that's what I got to say about that. All right, so he'll absorb 1 more attack at least. Probably, I guess, from the Forest Spider. Okay. I forgot about that trigger. Dropping him down to 1's kind of painful, but that's alright. We haven't seen Erkenbrand? Yeah. I think I've gotten him off his sneak attack before, but that gives you kind of a preview of what he's going to be able to do. He's super cool. Let me, oops. That's the history. There we go. Okay. I'll attack with Sam here. I want to use his second activation. And I'm not going to attack here. I mean, trading 1 for 4 seems like really, really bad, right? Like, unless I have a way to buff Arwen, I just don't think I attack with her here. And anyway, we need to get our threat up. On upkeep, we will both gain our resources. Plays the hatchling that he gets out for free because of Ungoliant spawn. Erkenbrand is 4 cost. Let's see what happens here. Sauron's got something else to play. Forest Spider. And we move into our turn. Let's put a banner on Sam. Oh, we didn't talk about these attachments yet because I think this might be one of the first attachments we've played. So we wanted a way to make sure that it made more sense what attachments were going on our characters, and you could see the different types and what the different attachments on them are. So we kind of came up with this panel here. We didn't really want to mess with the gemstones because we're running out of rooms on the cameo. However, this now kind of gives you a better idea. So there's a slot for your weapon, there's a slot for your armor, there's a slot for your special, and then there's a slot if Sauron puts an attachment on your enemy, on his enemies, being your characters too. Pretty cool. I really like this feature. It also applies to Sauron's characters if he puts his attachments on there too, and it makes the different attachments feel more distinct. And this is something that we've been able to do because we included these icons as well. So overall, it's kind of a clean fix to that. You'll also notice, I haven't shown it yet, but the power button is new, that we have a new temporary power button in there. But I'm pretty excited about this attachment tray. It also makes it more dynamic when he destroys attachments with greedy fingers or you replace them or something. Super happy with this so far. So here we go. Let's draw some cards. Hey, Bill. We'll play him next round. I guess I'll send in Aragorn here. See who he attacks with. Okay. We'll lose our... I can't... Again, I don't think we can... I mean, he's gonna get... He's gonna get an attack in, so I'm almost like, do we just throw the caregiver at him? Because he's not doing anything anyway. To exhaust him, I mean. Kind of want to do that. We also... Yeah, here, take a look at... oh, I don't have any resources, so I can't show it yet. Take a look at the power in a second, though. Next turn, I'll save a resource, and we can take a look at it. So I'm going to do that just to exhaust the Ungoliant spawn so he doesn't get an activation. Kind of bad value, but we are waiting. We are trying to get to the 45 threat, and also, actually here it makes sense because we would have lost Sam if we didn't do that. Here we can pull him out of the hole by healing him twice, once with self-preservation and once with, there's hatchling spider, and once with, self-preservation. Alright, R1. Spiders and Mirkwood come out. Another guard. Pretty powerful one, too. Kind of like, do we just exhaust it with Forest Snare? The problem with that is that we have to fight through it anyway since it has guards, so that doesn't really make a ton of sense. I wanted to show Aragorn's power, so I'm going to sneak attack here. Okay, so we'll heal. We'll heal up Aragorn. That's fine. I'm also going to play out Bill and start getting extra resources. He's probably just going to die from an attack. Sacrifice Bill for a point of damage, but if he makes it around and we gain that resource, that's awesome, so I'm fine with doing that. Alright, so let's start attacking. Okay, we lose him immediately. You see the glow on Aragorn, that's temporary too, to show that his power is activated. That's a quick fix right now. We take a look, we got a power button on the bottom here, we can click on this in order to use his power. So we're really happy with the text boxes, we're really happy with the interaction. Everything is of course temporary currently, so I'm going to use it. You can also see our cards remaining. That mouse over is still functional. Cards remaining instead of owned cards or whatever it said before. 13 out of 30 right now within our deck. So hopefully we can make it all these rounds. Sarn hasn't played any threatening attachments, which is kind of interesting. Of course, the time when we want him to do that, he doesn't do it. Okay, that's fine. Here I'm going to exhaust the enemy like that. And we'll just end our adventuring phase. Go up to 38 threat. Go into our upkeep. Okay, guard's pretty good. Hatchling spider, again, it's going to get guard. Here's the problem. I know that we can make it to 45 threat. I don't think I can beat the, like, after he snowballs all that, I don't think I'm going to, I'm going to be able to make it, so, like I'm not going to finish the quest after that happens. I'm definitely going to lose, especially with the threat event that happens at 45. Alright, play out a guard to the Citadel. We get our extra resource from Build a Pony, so we're at 2 still. I think we're probably going to Lembus this turn. And the adventuring phase here. I think I'm going to be okay. We got like Lembus, we got a bunch of stuff, like, I don't know, we'll see. If we don't make it, we'll just like hang out and let threat increase. We'll build specifically the highest threat that we can possibly do within the core set, and then we will just hang out there within. And I'll answer questions when we hang out like in the first location or something like that. If we don't make it, that is. All right, let's Limbus up Aragorn. It's worth it for the 2 health. I mean, he's got his own power too, but I think it's worth it for the 2 health here. Or to finish off the spider. Okay, there's an attack. And we'll drop him down to 2. That's fine. End the adventuring phase. Yep, guard instead of projecting objectives, guard now just protects other characters, other enemies in play. Hey, Tom. Which is cool. I wish we still had Bill. If we still had Bill, we would be able to play Tom in this turn, which would be awesome. For those who might not have seen it, we have the new attachment view, which I can show off here. I know I've shown it already on stream, but I'm so proud of it. Decided to show it a second time here. Here's our new attachment view, where you can see the icon for what attachment you have in each place. If you mouse over, you can see what the attachment does, and you can also see what type it is based on where it fills in with the slots here. So like I said, very happy with it. Very proud of where it's been at, and happy now with how it's turned out. You cannot use Forest Snare on bosses, basically because it is a non-unique. Since it's a unique enemy, you can only use non-uniques on Forest Snare, so we couldn't just exhaust him out. However, we can do it on Ungoliant's Brood, which I think is probably what we're going to do here. Yeah, Sarn's taking a long time to think this time. Something's wrong with my my computer. My build of the game right now is running a little slowly. We haven't been having a problem anywhere else, but we have it on the streaming computer today, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of troubleshooting before Thursday's stream, so apologies for that, guys. Let's Forest Snare up the Ungoliant's Brood. Get him exhausted and not have to worry about him. So you can see on here, it's actually special, so... Oh, that's not... So that functionality is not perfect yet, but you can see it on him too. So you kind of get the idea of what we're doing with that feature. Still ironing out the kinks, but pretty happy with it. Excited for what it means for the future. This actually might be going worse than I thought it was. Taking a turn off to exhaust that enemy might be enough to lose all of our... Yeah. I don't know if we're going to make it to 45 threat now. We'll Tom next turn and see what happens then. So we get to 40 threat here. Joe, I don't think that's going to be true. Any kind of bugs that we have, like, we're still in development, so any kind of issues that I might run into are probably not representative of what you're going to see in the full game. So I don't think you have to worry about anything like that. Soren gets his free treachery since we're at 40 threat. Plays on another guard, and we're definitely going to lose the game. This is, like, heartbreaking. I want to... I really want to be able to show this new event for you guys. But unless we reach it organically, it seems like it's just not going to happen. Unless I hang out and answer some questions and show it off at some point. Because we're going to lose Aragorn there. You saw the Lancer just traded with the enemy there. We die. Okay, so to everyone who I was saying that I was going to make it, maybe I was a little too confident there. Hanging out in a boss menu is probably not the best way to do it. Let's put together a deck with really high threat value and see if we can just hang out within the first leg of a location. New deck, still a threat. Perfect. Let's jump in there and build this. So it's going to be 11 from Aragorn, 11 from Faramir, and I guess 10 from Gimli currently is our maximum value for 32 as a starting threat. So that's pretty high though. I'm still gonna make the deck like competitive. I'm gonna play Escort to ready up a character since we got some powerful triggers here. Yeah, there are ways that Sarn has a couple of cards like that. Slayer, I guess I should call you. Sarn has a couple cards that can increase your threat over various quests here. Let's throw in gaining strength. Let's throw in some tactics cards. We'll get one Forest Snare since that's what I have in my collection currently. Gandalf. Sudden Riposte is a level 2, or else I'd take it because that's a way to make the game go a little longer. Advanced Warning will be good to do that same thing. Bjorn is an expensive ally. He might be pretty good in this build. We could take Houses of Healing, take a single Houses of Healing, just in case something like that happens again. It buys us more time, so let's do that. We'll take Lembas for the same reason. Lookout, Caregivers, going to heal up our characters. We don't have any Hobbits, or else Halfling would be pretty good. Guard is going to be really good for what we're trying to do here. One Gondorian Shield, because it's kind of expensive. We might end up adding the second in a second here, but I like Ranger Spear a lot. I like Round Shield a lot. I think we want Mithrander's Advice. Reinforcements is level 2. Leadership again, so we will not play that too. Let's also take Self-Preservation. And our deck is full. I think we want both Self-Preservations though, so I'm going to probably cut a card for that. I'm going to cut one of the escorts for it. So we're kind of low on allies now, but I think that this deck will be fine for what we're trying to do here. Oh, I think I jammed Mithrander's advice, which isn't a great idea with... Probably not a great idea with Faramir, especially if we're going to be delaying the game. So I'm going to cut that instead for escort. That's 29 cards. So our last card is going to be... We'll take a second shield. It's okay that it's expensive. We'll be able to make it with it. Let's jump in. Jump in. I guess just quest 3. Quest 3, I think he has the most cards that can increase your threats. So we'll just do the first location in quest 3 here. I'm going to answer some questions while we're doing this. So go ahead and drop those in chat and I'll see what I can do here. Deck builder. So I just showed the deck builder. You can also search for cards based on their title. We are currently working on other things that we might be able to... Did I take the wrong deck? Oh, one more time. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So you'll be able to search based on title. Oh, we're talking about doing search by trait as well as something that we might do. Here we go. And now we're in the wrong location, but it's fine. We'll just stick in quest 1 here. Pete, block keyword on Erkenbrand. Something new. No, it is still block. Block's also on the shields, so it just means that it's going to block the first point of damage that it takes on every turn. So it's pretty powerful. Basically, every time if you would take 3 damage, you'll take 2. If you take 2 damage, you take 1. That affects every time. It ends up snowballing to a lot of damage, and it's pretty difficult to finish off enemies with that. Yeah, you can mulligan a full 5 cards if you wanted to. Here we're gonna keep. Well, we'll keep advance warning too. That's fine. And we will not take a favor card. That's fine. Block also doesn't stack, just so you know. So if you put a shield on Erkenbrand, you wouldn't block 2 damage. It would still only be an instance of 1. So that's important to note too. You can't increase that in any way. Yeah, no, it's fine. I think he's actually the only character we've shown so far who has block. Mostly you see it on attachments like the Gondorian shield here, so a lot of the times you'll see that, but you know, Erkenbrand's pretty special, so we wanted to make him seem unique. You lose points if you don't take a favor card. So if you pick no favor cards, you actually you're going to gain more valor than if you did take a valor card with you. I mean, a favor card with you. So it's your overall score at the end of the game. These are the best stats I've seen on Gimli ever, I think. We're already in the phase then. Yeah, it's cool that we got to see Erkenbrand. He's actually one of the heroes I was planning on spoiling on Thursday's stream, but I guess since we showed him, we won't do that. Makes sense to me. Let's heal up Faramir, who's already taken like a ton of damage. Alright, heal up Faramir here. And we'll advance warning to exhaust the next enemy that we will play. Yeah, somebody pointed out that the favorite card screen isn't perfect yet. That's also a work in progress, so that's going to get rephrased, as will the mulligan line. Like always, everything is work in progress. That's the way we've been operating. Let's exhaust this guy. Okay. I'm kind of worried about this, but we got another caregiver at least. So if he does take that, yeah, oof, like that. That's not great. We vanquish at least, right? Get that trigger. I believe the veteran patrol has not attacked, so it's going to get its attack in. And probably finish off Faramir here. Gimli does not permanently have 12 health. It's because he has the shield on him, which gave him +2 health, so he's still at 10, and currently at 10 threat as well. So that 12 health is based on his shield currently. Exhausted. I'm still gonna caregiver. Oh, his health is 12. Excuse me, I was wrong. Yeah, Gimli has 12 health. We kind of buffed him a little bit. And he's at 10 threats, so excuse me, I was incorrect about that. Another advance warning. End our planning phase.
He cannot stand alone.
He showed 14 because he had the shield on him. So that's what was going on there. We'll end our adventuring phase here. So yeah, he was at 11 before, he's now at 12, and then he'll go up to 14, so apologies on that. Sauron's first threat event here triggers, he's going to get +2 resources. Oof. That's gross. Probably going to spend my face to take him out then. Another veteran patrol with ambush. This card changed as well. Previously, I believe it was a 2/4 with guard, just like the Dol Guldur orcs. Now we've changed it to a 2/5 with ambush. Kind of just gives some variance within Sauron's deck. Hey, how about that? We keep him alive, we're going to accelerate our threat. I'm going to feint. Play out a, I guess the guard. That's fine. I was thinking about a round shield on Aragorn to make sure he sticks around, but that'll be alright too. Currently, it's just the threat events. Whether or not that's something that we, Cam, I'm answering your question. Whether or not that's something we explore in the future is also up for debate. So, we are experimenting with a lot of ways to make threat feel a little bit more engaging. Draw our card. Oof. Well, that's fine. However, it does mean that we're probably going to lose the guard this turn. So let's get the shield on Aragorn here. Checking in his attachment tray. Yeah, I mean, like, this is the core set. What you're seeing is the initial product. We are planning on expanding things in the future. At least we want to. We can only do that with feedback. So, you know, a lot of design space is still being left open, for sure. Ambush also works on defense, for sure. Yeah, Sauron gets to decide when we show the trigger, you're right, engage. Yeah, ambush works on defense, so enemies will also ambush if they kill from defending too. It's kind of a cool effect. It's pretty deadly in a lot of cases. Put the self-preservation on Aragorn here, and put the escort out. Use him to potentially ready up one of our characters here. I really do not want to kill our friend here because he's got creature on him, so he's probably gonna, yeah, he's gonna swing in and take down our enemy. And you see the ambush work too on veteran patrol here. Let's end our phase. Go up to 41 threats, so we'll have 2 more turns, then we'll get there. Treachery card. He's gonna get his free treachery card. That's unfortunate. He got an extra resource off of the flock. That's why he's at 4 now. Let's see. And then free treachery. So it shouldn't be anything too difficult to beat. How can you use ambush on defense? Very carefully. That's my answer to that. You have to be very fast. Finish him off. End our adventuring phase, go up to 43, so we'll get it on this next turn here. Going to upkeep. Going to planning. Actually, you know, I bet if I was playing this deck optimally, I actually probably would have done all right. There's some pretty powerful effects here, and even without healing, it's been doing okay. We'll gain our threat here to go up to 45, so it's actually going to trigger on the next upkeep now. Yeah, C-Stan, I see your feedback on the raising stats. That's something we are currently working on too. The functionality for that is not final, so I hear you and I kind of agree. So that's probably going to change in the future too to make it a little clearer. I'm just going to end the phase so that we can see our 45 threat event here. Watch it not work now. Watch it not be functional within the build. Okay, here we go. You hear the drum beat too. That's something else that we've encountered. And here's the Agent of Sauron. All text is placeholder. All stuff is currently, but this is kind of the character that we've decided on for the 45 threat event. The Agent of Sauron has Fleeting, Stalwart, and Surge, so it's that Stalwart-Surge combination that we talked about earlier. I almost accidentally spilled the beans when I was talking about Marshatter having it. But he's 3 attack, 8 health, and his Fleeting means he's going to go off and around. He doesn't cost Sauron any resources. He's a unique. He's actually a Nazgul, too. So he's pretty dope. He's pretty scary. He's going to be able to basically defeat your heroes when he comes into play, get his 2 attacks in, and of course you can exhaust him by simply attacking once. He is a unique, which means that a lot of the unique cards aren't going to work on him, including Forest Snare, Feint, any of those cards that work on non-unique enemies only are not going to work against the Agent of Sauron, and whether or not you want to spend a card on him is a question as well. I love his art. I love who he is currently. Big fan of him. So yeah, that's him. One sec. Getting some feedback from Twitch. I hope that stream doesn't go down because it looks like we're hitting some internet trouble. But in any case, that's kind of what I had to show for you guys today. I wanted to make sure that you took a look at that 45 threat event. And that's basically today's stream. So after all that, Cam, I'm not quite ready to talk about that either, or how threat events are going to, if and how threat events would change, or we would play with that space in the future. Because it's such a new feature, we're still talking about it internally. So yeah, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for bearing with us as we got up to that 45 threat, and thanks for checking out Sam. I'm a big fan of his hero pack. I'm a big fan of the changes we made too, especially that attachment tray. On Thursday, I will have 4 new Valor cards for you. I will also have a new deck, and we will go through a quest. If you have a specific quest that you're interested in looking at with these heroes, especially with Sam, let me know. Drop a comment, or let us know on Twitter or Steam, Facebook, wherever. If you want to find us on any of those handy platforms, let me know. You can find us on twitter.com at FFI_games. You can find us at facebook.com/FFI games, here on twitch.tv FFI games, on youtube.com/fantasyflight interactive. You'll find our archive streams, as well as an old teaser for the game as well. That's where we're going to be dropping all of our videos. You can find us on there. And of course, join us on the Steam community, where we have a pretty lively conversation. There's been a lot of talk about the game. We've been able to talk to people who've been watching these streams, kind of get some feedback and also answer some questions. Thank you so much to people who've been helping out with people who jump in with some questions we might have answered in the past. If you can always link your sources and help that out, that's awesome. Thank you to people who've been maintaining communities for the game. I've seen some stuff in other languages too. That's been cool. If you're making content, great. That's awesome too. I know there's a Reddit that people have been posting on. We watch that. We don't post that in there, but that does exist. So if you want to connect with other people that way, that's an easy way to do it too. We're always looking for feedback, always looking to meet up with people, and always looking to hear from what you're thinking. So yeah, that's my spiel for today, and that's kind of where we're at. Like I said, we've been doing some press stuff. I will continue to post those stories on the Steam page as they continue to develop and get released. So there's quite a bit of stuff coming up on the horizon. We're super excited about it. Thanks again for joining us today. Have a good one, and we will see you on Thursday. Have a good week. Bye-bye.